Hey guys, SavageJoy with Real Progressives. So this is an impromptu show because past few days I've really been thinking a lot about something. Let me just add my name here because it does not come up when I do solos. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Something I've been thinking about a lot is how do we as progressives persevere? How do we keep going when we face so much hate and um, just, constant attacks for, not being vote blue no matter who, or not settling, or for really just standing up for wanting basic human needs met. We get hate for pretty much breathing. So, I wanted to kind of discuss something it doesn't really get talked about that much. They call me Savage Joy. That name was given to me by viewers because I clap back to, all, you know, politicians, certain supporters of certain candidates. I don't care. Like, if they're doing something to harm humanity, I will call them out. I don't care who they are. So that's why I was given that name. However, on the flip side, when I'm not on camera, I have those moments just like everyone else when I'm like, what's the point? Why are we doing this? Why keep fighting? What's the point? We are not going to win these people over. They're going to, cheat again. They're going to just completely bully us relentlessly like they did last time. And we're not going to win. So what's the point? Why do we keep going? And then, I think about how, like, quite honestly, it's not like we're going to quit. So, being anything less than, pissed off about it, it's kind of fruitless because it's, when I feel like that, I'm not, I know I'm not just going to be like, fuck it, and the next day not take it back. So that being said, what are some of the things that we can do to keep going, to keep going when we have um, that sense of defeatism? How do we keep going the next day? How do we, you know, social media is really beautiful, but at the same time, it's really fucked up. Like, you meet really amazing people from across the globe, not even just the country. But you also meet so much ugliness that you knew was probably out there, but you may not have been exposed to on such a level. So it's I don't even want to say it's a double-edged sword because you meet amazing people who you connect with, and for every one, for every 10 of those, there's two haters. So the the positive does outweigh the negative, but the struggle is which one you let overpower your mind. Do you focus on the ones who are calling you names and coming at you and just being totally like ugly and just total assholes? Or do you focus on the ones who said, holy shit, I didn't know that. You just taught me something. I'm going to look that up, because we have those moments too. So, it really is a daily struggle to, strategize. Should I approach this differently next time? I thought 2016 was hard, and it was, but going through it this time again on top of 2016 is just like, okay, yeah, this is kind of hellish in a lot of ways already. So in the comments, what are some of the things I am too? Oh, I thought you meant Saturday. Never mind. Sorry. But thank you. So what are some of the things, if you want to put them in the comment section, what are some of the things that keep you going? Like if someone's being hateful and, just promoting a candidate that will likely lose to Trump or is totally not progressive in any way, shape, or form, how do you deal with that? How do you keep fighting? People are just, I'm noticing people getting uglier by the day. And yes, Trump supporters are quite ugly. However, I'm sorry, but neo-libs kind of take the cake. I mean, Trump supporters are just, they're whatever, just block them and they're idiots. They're not intelligent about what they say. But as far as, neo-libs, they are ignorant, like absolutely ignorant. Well, I guess Trump supporters are too, but you guys know what I mean. You can promote facts 24/7. You can absolutely quote anything. You could bring up records, past voting. You could bring up anything. You could bring up donation history. You're attacking them for bringing it up. It's actually just, you're holding them accountable. That's not attacking. We have to embrace the fact that these people are not, they're not infallible. They are, no one is above criticism. No one. Yes, including Bernie. No one. So, it's so, I think the saddest thing above everything is that people are saying things because of, identity politics and things like that. But in reality, we need to think about humanity. And I know it sounds like trite and, like a hippie kind of minded thing to say, but like we are so fucked in so many ways. And if all you're talking about is, I want this person because he rides a skateboard and he looks like a Kennedy and shit like that, like, I don't give a flying fuck. Come on. Who gives a shit? It's so crazy. Like, Beto is live streaming today at his dental appointment. That is so incredibly privileged. I cannot even handle how privileged that is. If you look in the comments, it's like, I haven't had a dental appointment in 10 years. I can't afford it. I don't have insurance. I mean, why would you do that? Why? Liz Warren is so badass with her, her drinking a beer in her $2.4 million home's kitchen. And now we have Beto with his teeth in the camera while, they're sucking the saliva out and he has like all this. Yeah, it's gross. And he's like, he thinks that's profound. I don't know what's going on, but I made a post on Twitter that said if Biden is going to film his proctologist visit, I'm done. I'm out. But it's like, that's what we're coming to. It's like, don't pay attention to the fact that I vote with Republicans. Pay attention to the fact that I'm a real human and I get my teeth cleaned. Gregory, our teammate, said they're drilling for oil in there. That's a good one. People are also like, okay, so there's this woman in Florida. Her name is Pam Keith. Forget what she, I know she just lost. She was a senator or something. She was some kind of rep in Florida, and someone was saying Joy, you have to have this woman on your show. She's awesome. Okay. So I look into her and I'm like, but he was a good friend. And I was like, okay, whatever. So he hits her up and she says, yeah, okay. I'll come on and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, our schedules didn't work. Well, today I am so happy they didn't, because she puts in a post that I'm Beto 2020 and, he's tall and shit like that. I'm like, oh my God, what? There's an actual representative saying he's tall in her post about, like, I don't even know. Her name is Pam Keith. I don't know if it's still up there. I was going back and forth for hours on it, and she was coming at me. It wasn't very professional. I took a lot of screenshots, put them on Twitter, so they're on there as well. But I was like, damn. Eric, you're so spot on. Biden does talk out of his ass. And I can, okay, I'm not going to go there. But yeah, a Beto bro. She is a Beto bro. And I got totally attacked by shills in the comments because I was like, somebody was talking about Kamala and Kamala 2020. And I said, well, I'm sure she'll get votes from the Black and brown people she imprisoned to make profit off of. And then I just want my Lord and Savior, Bernie. And I was like, actually, if you really want to say something intelligible, what you could say is, well, she did that because, not that there's an excuse, but it's the epitome of why things are, you can have a civil discussion, or like, I'm open to discuss things with anyone. I've had really good conversations with Trump supporters, just, psychologically trying to understand where they're coming from. And I think that's important that we do those things. But, when I'm sitting there and I'm giving you facts, I am breaking stuff down. I am giving you proof that she has done these things. And you're going to come at me with, she was like, oh, great, already against a Democratic woman. And I'm like, I'm a woman. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not sexist. Like, I was like, actually, the sexist thing is saying that someone deserves something because they have a vagina. That's sexist. I'm not sexist. I'm supporting someone who has the best ideals and who has the best history. Identity politics is it's just going to screw us so bad. It screwed us over in 2016 when how many people, to those of us who campaigned, how many people said, oh, I like Bernie a lot, but I want a woman. I can't count how many times I heard that. That's what gave us Trump. You voted for someone who wasn't liked, who was tanking in the polls, instead of over the guy you liked, and we got Trump. That's what's happening here. People are negating the disgusting records and, things of these people just because they want to, make records, things like that. It's like, yeah, hell yeah, I would love a Black woman president. Abso-freaking-lutely. It would be amazing. But is that a good precedent to set? Is that really the way we want to start things? Because if you elect someone like Kamala with a history of just so much crap, from Mnuchin to, paying her to get him off the hook, to, making money off of incarcerating Black and brown people, to et cetera, or you want, first woman like Elizabeth Warren, who takes big money and is, you know, insults indigenous peoples and things like this. And, you know, these are not people that are going to look good in history. If you want to have the first woman president, bring it. I am so for it. But I want someone that is not going to set women back after their presidency. And people like that will, because people, you know, misogynists and actual misogynist will, you know, will say things like, well, look at, we finally had a woman president and she this, and this. So, I mean, it's crazy to me that people put, you know, identity politics above things that should be of import. I mean, like, people, so many people are in pain. And do you think before they, you know, get help, they're going to be like, well, you know what? She didn't help me, but she was the first female president. So there's that. No, it's just like, what? Exactly, Gabriel. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I did a post the other day about this, and I was like, you know, Bernie's too old. And, you know, I was like, a lot of anti-Semites, you know, neolibs, like, of course there's going to be some, but I'm like, damn, like, there are a lot of people with, like, you know, Kamala and Hillary and stuff on their pages, and they're just like saying really anti-Semitic shit about Bernard. And it's just, I guess I was naive to, you know, I don't know. But in any case, I made a post that said, do you think the Yemeni people actually, you know, asked Bernard what his age was before he saved them? Do you think that people who he doubled the wages of by coming at Jeff Bezos, do you think they asked his religion before they accepted their raises? These things are not important. They're not at all. This, people dying is going to have more importance than who saves them, the color of who saves them, the sex of who saves them. If all they have is, you're not gonna vote for them, you're sexist. If that's all you have, then that's a problem. Exactly, Andy. That's, you know, I posted screenshots on Twitter today because someone was coming at me like that, and he's like, you're dumb, you're stupid. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the thing with that. You're hurling insults, and that's not a good way to prove your point. And then he's like, okay, you dumb, stupid bitch. And like, they don't get it. Either they don't get it, or they don't, or they do and they don't care. I'm not sure which one. But we also have to be really careful with, you know, how we respond to people, because that is something I am learning. I just joined Twitter 3 weeks ago. So I have fallen twice into the trap of whataboutism. And that is bad. bad. I've done it twice where someone is just gaslighting and baiting me. And I fell for it. And, you know, it's very like, you know, I'll be like, hell no to Beto, hell no to Kamala, hell no to Warren. Like, you take corporate money? Nope. You're against Medicare for all? Nope. Like, these things are, I will not compromise. It's not even like they say purity test. No, it's a humanity test. That's what it is. I don't want people in pain anymore. I don't want people dying anymore. That's what it is. So, you know, So, I make these posts, and this one woman came at me, and she said, "Well, are you Bernie or bust?" I said, "Well, I wrote him in last time, so yeah, that could be the case." And of course she's like, just vote Bloom no matter who, and goes off on me. And I was like, that is exactly why progress does not happen, because people are so complacent to just accept anyone who has a D next to their name and say, well, they're not Trump. Is that really the best, like, way to measure someone against, like, an incredibly inept just piece of garbage, and saying, well, they're better than him? Well, if they're not, that's a problem. But it's like the DCCC, who is essentially the bastard child of the DNC. Their slogan, and this is true, you can look it up, their slogan is, I mean, have you seen the other guys? That's their slogan. Vote for us because we're less shittier. That's what it is. They don't stand for anything. What they do is they talk shit on Republicans, which is so easy. It's nothing profound. It's so easy. So they don't tell people what they want, only what they don't want. How about representing the people? How about actually listening to we the people and what we want? So what's going to happen is, even if the other thing is, I'm voting for who can win. Well, first of all, 98% of America thought Hillary was going to win, and she didn't. So stop trying to think about that, because you don't know who people are going to vote for. They may say they'll vote one way and they don't show up or what have you. Stop thinking about other people. It's not strategic. Yes, Trisha, they did. No. Yeah, that's what's funny. You're right, Trisha, because it was like, give me one reason to vote for Hillary. She's a woman. Give me a different one. She's not Trump. Okay, give me another one. She's married to a rapist? I don't know. But anyway, so we have to kind of steer the narrative back to things of importance. We're going to be faced with so much more shit. This is not, this is so daunting, and it's discouraging. I've been told by I don't know how you, I guess, inside sources, that Gillibrand is going to announce within a few hours, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. I don't know of anyone who really supports her, but I'm sure there are. She endorsed Hillary. So Kamala is saying she will announce around MLK Day, because I'm sure he'd be real proud of her history. And Booker's begging for Wall Street. Booker and Kamala and Gillibrand were all hitting up Wall Street. Now, if you guys remember, Kamala stated several times in interviews, I won't take any corporate donations again. And I kept telling people, dude, I'm telling you, she's full of shit. Well, everybody can change. Okay, go ahead. Go with that narrative and watch how quick it changes. And people were like, you're such a pessimist. Oh, guess what? She didn't even announce yet, and she's already begging Wall Street. You have to look at people's past. You have to. Can people change? I don't know. I hope so, but I don't trust people that way. I look at full records. I don't agree with anyone even The most I agree with someone is Bernie, and that's like 90%, 95%. I'll never agree with someone 100% unless I run myself, which is not going to happen as much as people ask me. But, you know, it's so important that we kind of focus on strategically how to handle the way, the way people try to frame it to, to make us, because you can tell when somebody's baiting you. You can tell they want you to just be like, fuck you. And then they'll take screenshots and be like, look at this Bernie bro. It's so obvious. So we have to try our best not to fall for that. But I'm human. And usually I just say, super sarcastic things, and I'm totally cool with that. But, there every now and then you get that one person and you're just like, oh my God. So they're out. And I don't know. It's going to be a clusterfuck. So what are some of the things that you guys do when you get discouraged? What do you do? Do you, do you play music? Do you, do you play with your animal? What do you do to kind of chill out and come back to the reality we're living in, to escape, the political clusterfuck? What are some of the things you do? And also, what are some of the things that keep you going? I know for myself, I get so inspired by, the candidates I interview and the guests I interview. If you haven't seen last night's show, I had Mike from the Humanist Report on. And he's one of the reasons I started my show. I adore him. I absolutely love him to pieces. He's beautiful. And he asked me to come on the Humanity Report, which is like, I didn't sleep last night. Like, I literally didn't sleep a wink last night. And like, he inspires me so much. And the fact that I was able to interview someone I love that much was just a dream. So, things like that keep me going. Seeing, a lot of your comments keep me going. So I think, we definitely have allies. We have amazing people out there who totally agree with us on things. And who shat their pants? What is going on? I don't know what's going on. I said what inspires you, and Gregory said someone shat their pants, and now I'm so confused. Okay, this was supposed to be a show of depth. Stephen, you're right. We don't have time. Like, Bernard, in one of the debates, they were like, what do you think your biggest, like the world's biggest threat is right now? And he said climate change. And people laughed at him. I mean, absolutely laughed at him hysterically, made memes about it. Oh my God, how pathetic. He's so stupid. Oh, I'm sorry, 12 years. Okay. People aren't thinking about the future, and that's terribly scary, because people who are older are like, well, I won't be in it. But to younger people, it's like, we can see things happening, and it's terrifying. People are getting sick more. People are dying younger than they were previously. People of color are having, harder lives than they have. All these things are related. And it seems incredibly selfish to vote for somebody just because of identity politics or because, you think they're charismatic. I mean, look, millions of us were duped by Obama. We thought he was the greatest. He gave us hope. He's handsome, he's charismatic, he's well spoken. And then he bombed more people than any other president in history. So, yeah, I'll take a dude who is like a grumpy grandpa who waves his hands around because his policies speak to me. That's who I want. If people voted, policy over party, we wouldn't even have Trump right now. We'd have someone progressive. So as long as we keep settling for things, there's no incentive for them to change. Why? People only do what you let them do. When you vote blue, no matter who, you're telling them, hey, guess what? Keep cheating, keep taking corporate money, keep doing all this, because guess what? You have my vote no matter what. You're good. And why would they change? So, you look at things like the yellow vest, and people are like so in awe of this. And it's amazing to see all these people out there in unison together. And it's not just about one issue, it's about humanity. It's about all issues. And it's so just breathtaking to look at everyone coming together for, people as a whole. And, people make these posts like, why can't we have that here? Well, okay, here's why. We can, but there's too many people who say we could be at brunch if it wasn't for Trump. There's too many people who wear a pussy hat one day a year and think that they're activists. These are why we can't do that. That's why. Because things like that only work if everyone stands up. Hell, even 75% of us, if everyone agreed and acted, then it would happen. But the fact of the matter is, too many people are complacent. Too many people think fighting for things is just a waste. Typing resist on social media, like #resist, what has that gotten you? Has that stopped any of these harmful bills from passing? Has it, what does it do for you? Because democracy is not a spectator sport at all. We all have shit to contribute. Whether you physically go to marches or you get, do petitions, or you inform others, or you do conference calls, or you hold, potlucks where you can discuss issues. I mean, there are so many things that you can do to help educate people. I think education is the main thing. It breaks my heart when I post stuff on social media and it's things that have harmed so many people, and I'll post it and there's just comment after comment. Are you sure? I never heard about this. Are you positive? And it's just like, oh my God. Like the first time I organized a rally against DAPL, there were 3 women walking down the street. I had like 40 protesters there and I was speaking, and there were 3 women walking down the street and they said, "What's this for?" And I said, well, and I just gave a very loose description. And the one woman said to me, "I bet you drove your car here." And I said, I'm not really understanding what you're saying. And she's like, "Well, that has oil." And I was like, well, first of all, I didn't drive here. But second of all, I don't think you're understanding. This is in people's water, not their car, their water. People, it seems like like that meme that says that in a world with this much information, being, ignorant is a choice. Yeah, it pretty much is. So, that just really, and then I was in the newspaper a few times and locally, and they would, people would put in the comments like the one healthcare rally I did, this guy put in the comments, you'd have been better off staying home and watching football. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Yeah, drawing attention that people's lives are in danger. I'd have been better off watching football. Like, it's so flippant. I think too many people are so just so self-obsessed that they would rather just wait until something affects them personally before they start caring. And I think that's one of the hugest problems in our country as a whole is no empathy, and also cognitive dissonance. Those two things I think would change our country. I really, really do. If people would just wake up and start caring about people. One of the things that I used to get all the time, because I look about half my age, I'll be 40 shortly in a few months. And when I would go door to door for Bernard, I would always get the same thing from like middle-aged men. Oh, of course you like Bernie because he wants to give you that free stuff and blah, 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 and you want to go to college and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, listen, okay, let me get this out of the way. I'm just going to go down the list. First of all, I already put myself through college by working full-time while I did it and made Dean's List every semester. You're welcome. Second of all, I already make more than $15 an hour. So let's get that out of the way. And I would just go down the list. Like, I have to like explain myself because it's so crazy. I mean, there's this really awesome thing when, some people actually want better lives for others. I know it's this crazy, crazy, crazy concept that people would actually fight for things that don't affect themselves. How about I just want everyone to have that? It's people can't conceive of that. They just assume you want it for yourself. That's so sad. Why? True activists fight for people, not just themselves, not just their friends, not just their family, but people. They're empaths. They look at someone hurting and they say, holy shit, they should never feel this way. Never. So I'm going to do something about it. At the very least, I'm going to share this information to make people aware of it. That's how humanity exists. We are, I mean, I'm worried. Like, sometimes I think I'm almost glad to not have a kid because this shit scares me. I don't know, it's just so sad to think about people who are just so many people being affected, and people think about the presidency as something that's relevant for 4 years, and it's not. It's this 4 years, then that 4 years, then that 4 years. Every single thing is cyclical. If we fuck up now, again, Republicans will stay in power, or, which I think will happen anyway, or the Dems will have neolibs and nothing's going to change anyway. So essentially it's like having the Republicans stay. So it's crazy because it's like people aren't focused on helping others. If they were, they would vote for the candidate who actually has a 40-year record of helping people. I mean, one of the things that really you know, hit me in 2016 was that Bernie was the only candidate who said the words love and unity and compassion. And I didn't think about it really until months after he announced. And then I thought, oh my God, why is this remarkable? Why is this, so profound? It's sad. Why is that not just, you know, today I saw the rep I was talking about, Pam Keith from Florida. She said, I love Beto because of his empathy. Empathy of what? I don't know. I mean, can someone add a video or something? I have no idea what she's talking about. His wife is a billionaire, literally billionaire. That's our biggest problem in politics, money in politics, biggest problem, because every single thing is related to that. So what it comes down to, you want Medicare for all? Get money out of politics. You want Green New Deal? Get money out of politics. Free college? Get money out of politics. It all comes down to that one thing. And, people saying, okay, so I've had Congressman Ro Khanna on 3 times. And each time I asked him about his bill that he has, which it is for congressmen and senators, things like that, to sign when they agree not to take any more money in politics. First time I interviewed Ro, he had 6 people, including himself. Second time I interviewed Ro, 6 people, including himself. And third time I interviewed Ro, 6 people, including himself. Now, the most recent time I interviewed him was 2 weeks ago, in which I asked specifically, so is Kamala one of those signatures? Because she's been saying she's not going to take money. And he kind of looked down and went, no. I was like, oh shit, I am so just, I could fall off my chair. I'm so shocked. So research, that is the key. Oh my God, please research. It's, so many times you say something and people are like, what? And it's like they have this, oh my God, I didn't know that. Instead of putting a 2020 next to someone's name, just research. Because when it comes to, some of these things that these candidates or potential candidates are doing, when it comes to those things, you're either an enabler or you're against it. I don't know. Like if if somebody tells you your girl imprisoned Black and brown people and made profit off of it for years, and you come at them and just say, oh, you're a Bernie bro, you're stupid. By you saying that, you are enabling what she did, as abhorrent as it is. You are making an excuse instead of taking accountability and saying, you know what? Yeah, that was fucked up. But by them acknowledging it, it would show validity to your argument. So they're not going to do that at all. As usual, my rants have gone. I look at the comments and it's just like topsy-turvy. But yeah, when we get discouraged, the key is we need to keep thinking about the people that these things we are promoting are going to help. Because when we want to give up, we have to realize that there are voices that cannot be heard. There are marginalized community, there are poor community, there are communities of color that just frankly don't get listened to. And they need people to stand up for them and say, look, we have a responsibility as humanity, we have a responsibility to help others. It's not that, crazy of a concept. So I think, that's what we have to keep in mind above all else. We have to keep who is going to be best for humanity. I don't know. I don't know what else to say except I'm terrified. Like, I'm seriously terrified. There's, and also, people talk about winning. And of course, I want Bernie to win. He won last time and he was cheated. Yes, I want Bernie to win, as millions of us do. But at the very least, him running is so important, because what's going to happen is there's going to be a debate stage with a whole bunch of corporate shills. And there's going to be someone there that's going to be talking about progressive ideals. And these people are going to have to answer to, why don't you support that? And so even if he didn't win, he's still changing the narrative of pushing people more left. I mean, it just has to be. It has to be. So you're right, Andy. You're right. Aw, that's really sweet. That's really sweet. Gabriel, you're awesome. So yeah, this was just my impromptu rant. I have he does, Stephen, you're right. I mean, and by the way, today Bernie just got his 11th straight year of being America's most supported, I guess you would call it, most popular senator for the 11th year in a row. Oh, Trisha, I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it. Trisha, she's a teammate. She said, aren't the Dems, the DNC going to steal it again? I don't doubt it. But at the same time, I'll go protest their asses again. In a heartbeat. Those 6 days were the worst 6 days of my life, but I will do it again in a heartbeat. And it's not enough to make me stop fighting. I'm still going to try my damnedest. But yeah, I mean, base 77. This is our last chance. So, people like to say, oh, well, he won't get anything accomplished. Well, I mean, actually, they call him the Amendment King because he's passed more legislation than any other member in the Senate ever. So, and what it comes down to is, like, even if he didn't pass anything, which I think is bullshit, because he passes things with Republicans as well. He has a great reputation of being able to work together. But let's say worst case scenario, no matter how unfeasible it is, he doesn't pass anything. What he does do is open the conversation. That's what all this came down to in 2016. He brought terms to the forefront, like Medicare for all and free college tuition and things like this that are now household terms. So just bringing these terms to people's dinner tables has changed our country. Just that alone. People finding out about these things has brought them to the streets. Look at all we've accomplished, from protesting and everything, and like healthcare. Thankfully, like, Trump didn't appeal Obamacare because of our protests. Yeah, I know Obamacare sucks, but to people like myself with a lot of hospital bills, trust me, it's better than nothing. So the more we learn and the more we promote things, the better our lives are going to be. So even at the least, if he talks about these things and he gets people heated and he gets them fired up like he did for millions, we've won. We have fucking won because he rallies the people. And when the people get rallied, it's on. And we've seen that in the past 2 years. So, yeah, I mean, look at Amazon, look at Disney, that was literally nothing but him, but Bernie just calling out Bezos. That was literally nothing but him taking a stand and saying, Bezos, you're a twat and you're greedy and you're an asshole. And then all of a sudden, Disney, nothing, no bills, no amendments, nothing. I mean, it's a power of speaking up. And I want a fighter. He's a fighter. That's what I want. Because we need to freaking take that shit on. I am a proud independent as well. That's open primaries is going to be the most important thing, period. We would not have Trump if we had open primaries. That is so important. I'm in Pennsylvania. We're a closed primary. I noticed from interviewing over 100 candidates from across the country, there's so many different voting rules and procedurally, and it's crazy. So, but we do have a number of closed primary states, and one of them, New York, that you have to register 10 months in advance for before people even know who the candidates are. So, yeah, opening primaries would be life-changing politically. It really would. There's no reason why some states are open and others aren't. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm scared to check my phone all the time because people just, they're constantly texting me and messaging me to, for topics to speak about on the show. And every time my phone dings, I'm like, oh, fuck. Because it's usually like, did you see this article? Oh my God. Yeah, dude, Hillary did have karma for rigging that shit. And guess what? We're the ones paying for it. That's the problem. Like, she fucked the whole country over. Aw, thanks, Eric. Love you. I've kept you guys long enough. I was at work for 9 hours and I'm beat. But I needed to get that out. But thank you guys as always for watching. I have some awesome shows coming up next week that I'll get the promos ready for. But thank you guys so much. And if you didn't see the show of me with Mike from the Humanist Report last night, please check it out. You're going to see me fangirling. I'm not going to lie. You're going to see me gushing. He's really hot. But it was a really, really, really good show, if I do say so myself. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Keep kicking ass.